Welcome everyone to the clash of two Indians at the Tata Steel Masters 2024. We have Leon Mendonca and Arjun Erigaisi. Leon is the last seed of the tournament. Arjun is the second seed of the tournament. But after 4 rounds, they both are on half a point. So very important game for both the players, especially for Arjun Erigaisi. He plays pawn to e6. Now Leon is suffering from slightly bad health here in the tournament, and it's commendable the way he's fighting here. But Arjun is someone whom you really need to play carefully against. He's such an amazing player. He's rated 2800 plus d5. We have the Benoni on the board. Will Arjun now go all out? Oh my god, he goes for the Blumenfeld with b5. And this has definitely surprised Leon, who takes his time for his next move and plays the move bishop to g5. And that's a very logical move. He took some good 7-8 minutes and played it. E takes d5 played on the clock, on the board. And bishop g5 is a very positional way to play the Blumenfeld gambit. Now white has the center control. Black has the space on the queen side. He pinned the knight. Knight to c3 next coming up. He plays h6, questioning the bishop. And here bishop takes on f6. And Arjun takes back with the queen, attacking the pawn on b2. And let's see what Leon does. He goes queen c2. A normal way to play this position is d6, a6, maybe bishop e7. But Arjun here has started to think a bit. And he goes g5 after a good 24 minutes of thinking. Insane. Arjun playing, I think he wants to get his bishop out on g7 and on this long diagonal. Leon quickly brings his knight to c3. Attacking the pawn on b5. Now if you save the pawn, the knight can jump to b5, but also knight e4 is very strong. I'm looking at all these squares. So Arjun decides to give up that pawn. He goes bishop g7. Oh, wow, that's bold now. Arjun is giving up this pawn. Will Leon take it? 4 minutes into the game, Leon takes it now. 4 minutes just taken for this move. If queen b2, I have queen b2, bishop b2, rook b1 followed by check, and I win your rook. So that's the reason why he goes knight to a6, and you can see all the players gathering there. Keimer, Swana, Edis Gurrel, everyone's there. And he plays pawn to e3, just opening up the bishop here. And now Arjun quickly castles it out. He's pawn down, but he is attacking this pawn on b2. How important it is for Leon to save it. He plays a3. He's not really concerned. He says like if you take, bishop takes, rook b1, bishop g7. I'm happy with this position. White is clearly better. So Arjun also decides not to take that pawn and goes d6. And now the bishop comes out to d3. Looking at the h7 square. And the bishop to d7, attacking the knight. The knight can actually come back to c3. And Leon does exactly that. He comes back, he blocks this diagonal, and he attacks the knight on a6. The knight comes back to c7. And now that the position is slowly getting stabilized, Leon is going to short castle here. You can take stock of the situation. Black is a pawn down, a solid pawn down. The only compensation that black has is the bishop pair and this pressure down to the b2 point. But Leon is very quick to play his knight to d2. He wants to go to c4. He wants to put pressure here. Maybe e4. Maybe later f4. These are the plans he has. Queen goes back to e7. Let's see what Arjun comes up with. For now, he Leon comes up with e4, pushes his pawn, the queen is back on e7. And how should black create some play? a6 is played just to prepare knight to b5 and coming into the center of the board. Leon goes rook b1, maybe later b4 move can come in handy here. He plays his knight to b5 and the knight wants to get into the d4 square. He plays his knight back to e2, stopping the knight from jumping into d4. And king to h8 played. The idea now is to push f4 at some point, and Leon will get a huge attack flowing. But he goes knight c4. It's also great. The knight is looking at d6. a5 to c6. And he goes knight d4. I can take the knight now. Knight takes d4. Bishop takes on d4. And now just f4. But that pawn is pinned. So maybe king h1 is what I want to do. Leon goes knight a5. Maybe he wants to look at knight c6 ideas. Maybe just b4. Rook comes up to b6. Arjun is trying his best to create some play, rook b8, but he's clearly worse here. Leon comes back to c4, repeats once. He has 26 minutes, 17 more moves to make until move 40. The rook comes back to b8. And now the knight comes to a5 once again. Leon is maybe okay with the draw here, it seems. He's repeating. And I think Arjun has no reason to deny the draw, because he's clearly worse. So rook b6. With 20 minutes on the clock, Leon thinks for 8 minutes and plays b3. That's brave of him. Facing world number 4 and India number 1, Arjun Erigaisi. He plays b3. He wants to continue the game. Queen comes to f6. And now king h1. Well done. The Leon is trying for this f4 break sooner or later. Black doubles the pawns on the b file. And Leon brings the knight back to c4. Getting in f4 is not so easy, but you can do it step by step here. b3 is also a bit soft. So not so simple to make progress. Leon now again attacks the rook, second time. Easy. Heading over to a repetition this time because he's down to 6 minutes. He has to make 12 more moves on the clock. He comes back to c4. Arjun goes back to b7. They've already repeated maybe 3 times. Next move, knight a5 would be a 3-fold repetition. He makes the move. Arjun writes it down. Leon writes it down. And now, I guess Arjun offers a draw. Leon accepts it. And Leon says, you have to make the next move perhaps because we haven't reached move 30. And now rook b6 is the 30th move. So they agree to a draw. And yeah, this is actually a very, very mixed result there for both the players. Arjun would have wanted to beat Leon in this game to come back into the tournament. Leon, after the position he got against Arjun, would have surely wanted to beat him. But in the end, a draw is the result. And for Leon, hopefully the rest day will help him get back into shape. And for Arjun as well, they both analyze the game right now. They are on 1 point out of 5 games. And they will be looking to making a comeback. It's very nice to see Arjun being cool, calm and composed here. And speaking with Leon. And they're discussing the game. They both know each other very well. And also are represented by MGD1, they both are talents of MGD1 company, so who supports them. That's also very nice to see. And Leon and Arjun now on the bottom of the table will be looking to make a comeback.